What's up, y'all? It's your boy Steph, back with another reaction. And I got something special for y'all this time. I had a subscriber, well, I think he's a subscriber, or just a random person that commented on the channel. Either one, shouts out to you. Name, I believe 850 Big Boy, and he recommended me to a horror narrator called Mr. Haunted. And it sounded real interesting. So I decided to give it a go. I went through some of the videos, and this stuck out the most to me. 6 disturbing deep web stories. Oh, 6 true disturbing deep web stories. So I know they're gonna be fucked up. But yeah, it's a new narrator. I'm always open to new narrators, like I tell y'all. And I've started the very strenuous process of deleting unneeded videos, photos, and apps from my iPhone. So I'm gonna be able to start making longer videos. This video will probably be about 30 minutes. But without further ado, y'all, let's get into it. Mr. Haunted, to scare you. What? What did it say? Fuck. I know it says something like scare you every time, but I don't know. The first 2 words. Oh.
Going on the deep web was one of the most foolish mistakes I've ever made.
You know it.
The deep web is home to all sorts of disturbing stuff.
Yep.
Such as drugs, messed up porn, murder, hitman services, and torture.
Yep.
When I first heard about the deep web from my cousin, he told me all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I didn't believe a word he said, and I didn't really care.
Because you was bullshitting.
It just sounded fake to me. That was years ago when he told me that.
It's very real.
Until one day when it came across my mind. For once, I decided to check out the deep web. I had recently talked to my cousin about it, and he told me what to do and what not to do. He told me what I should do was to stay away from any illegal content such as child pornography and other things like that.
Why would you want to see that?
He told me some things of what not to do on the deep web, which was 1. Don't click any questionable links.
No.
2. Never use a Windows computer on the deep web. 3. Never buy anything from the deep web.
Fuck no.
And 4. Don't trust anyone or anything.
Or just don't go.
So anyway, I turned on my computer and downloaded Tor. Tor is a special browser to access the deep web. So anyway, within a few minutes, I was surfing the deep web. I was looking through links and pages and stuff like that, and it was nothing too dark. It was just some forums and some drug websites.
Just wait for it.
Overall, it was boring, and I didn't do drugs, so I had no interest in that. Then, I found a link that was in red. All the other links were just blue. Out of curiosity, I clicked the red link.
Oh my god.
It led me to a site called No Escape. The site was basically human experimentation.
Never trust the color red.
I saw a video where a woman was naked and tied to a chair. The woman looked hungry and tired, stressed and thirsty. There was a timer on screen that said 3 days, 6 hours and 48 minutes. At first I was confused, but then I realized that it meant how long the woman was there for. I felt disturbed and clicked out of the deep web. I went on my phone and played some Minecraft for about half an hour when I got a phone call from an unknown number.
You're not just gonna leave.
I figured it might be someone I know either prank calling me or someone has the wrong number.
You're not just gonna leave like that.
I picked up and I heard a voice of a man that didn't sound familiar. He said, "Hey David, did you like what you saw?"
See?
He said my name. How did he know my name? How did he get my phone number? I hung up and went back to the computer. I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I deleted the Tor browser and wiped out everything on the computer.
I don't think that's gonna save you.
I never went back on the deep web again.
You should have never went. Your partner, whoever was bullshitting, they told you don't do all that on the deep web. You should have never went.
Deep web. The deep web is basically the hidden internet that contains dark content, such as drugs, pedophiles, hitmen, and torture. none of that really interests me. The only reason why I was on the deep web was to look for government secrets and stuff like that. After looking for links that had to do with that type of stuff, I eventually got bored and decided to find other things on the deep web. I had a VPN on, so if I ever came across something illegal, I wouldn't get caught. I then came across a link that led me to a site. It was called the Devil's Chamber.
Oh, wow.
It gave a description of the website. Basically, it was a snuff film, aka torture and murder films.
Don't watch that.
There was a black video box with a play button. I was very curious and clicked on the play button. A black screen popped up with a timer and a live chat box with people waiting for something. The timer said 3 minutes till showtime. I got curious and typed in the chat what everyone was waiting for. They all said, a murder live stream. I didn't like this and I put my cursor over the X.
Nope.
But as soon as I was gonna click out, text appeared on the black screen that said, "It's showtime." I watched and waited to see what was going to happen. Just then, a screen appeared with a woman tied to a chair in a dimly lit room with a door. Then, someone with a mask appeared on screen as well. The person in the mask stared at the camera and said, "It's time for pain."
Oh.
He then opened a door and closed it behind him. A few seconds later, he came out with a dog tied to a chain. The dog was barking like crazy in a really aggressive way.
Oh, no.
It was a pit bull, and I knew what was about to happen.
Oh, shit.
The pit bull lunged at the woman, attacking her while still tied to the chair. She was screaming in pain as the dog was biting and chewing her apart. A few minutes later, she stopped screaming, and she was dead. The person in the mask then walked out of the room with the dog, leaving the woman whose flesh was literally torn apart. I closed out immediately and deleted the Tor browser.
You should never download it.
I will never, and I repeat, never go back on the deep web again.
Pit Bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Great Danes. Those are the 4 dogs you don't want to fuck with. Oh my
This
God.
experience happened to me on the deep web, and I almost got killed by going on it. Let me explain. I was in high school at the time, in my sophomore year, and I barely had any friends. I had only one friend at the time who was a junior. We'll call him Isaac. Isaac was one of those people who were into drugs and stuff like that.
Bullshitter.
It was him who told me about the deep web.
Of course.
He talked about how you could buy illegal guns, drugs, and stolen products from different
He
companies.
fucking up his life. Why not fuck up yours too?
I wanted to see what this whole deep web thing was.
You really don't.
So when I got home, I texted Isaac on how to get onto the deep web. He told me that I had to download the Tor browser in order to have access to it. So I fired up my PC and downloaded the Tor browser. And after setting up a few more things, I was finally on the deep web. Isaac told me that you had to click questionable links in order to go deeper.
Of course.
So anyway, after I was done setting up Tor, it led me to the hidden wiki. There were categories like drugs, adult content, porn, documents, etc. I clicked documents and it just showed links to a bunch of different websites that I didn't really care for. Isaac had warned me about illegal pornography and murder that you could find on the deep web.
Why would you want to?
I tried to stay away from things like that since it was just messed up and disgusting.
But you still went.
Anyway, I continued searching and clicking links, and eventually I found a site called Hell Palace. I knew it was probably dangerous because of the name of the site, but at the same time, I was curious as to what things lied beyond the first page of the site.
Y'all curiosity gonna get y'all
clicked
fucked
photos
up.
and videos
Y'all is
about the site,
killing me right
and I
now with
really
this curiosity.
wish I didn't. What I saw was something that will never leave me.
I bet.
There were at least hundreds of pictures of people all being tortured and going through horrible things that no one should ever go through. I don't even want to go into any detail of what I saw in those pictures. I then saw a little chat box appear on screen that said, "I can see you didn't like what you saw."
Oh my God.
I typed back saying that you guys are not human and that I would report this to the authorities immediately.
Don't say that.
That was probably the biggest mistake I've ever made.
Now he got all your
because
information,
not even
right?
10 seconds later, they typed back saying, "Okay, I'll see you at this address." I looked at the address, which looked familiar, and then it hit me. The address
It's yours.
was mine. At this point, I was panicking. I closed the window and deleted the Tor browser and wiped out everything from my computer.
You finna get got.
A few hours later, I calmed down and forgot all about what had happened.
Nah, don't calm down.
I continued on with my life, going to school, playing video games, watching movies and stuff like that. About a week later, my mom and dad were going out to dinner and they left me home alone.
Yep.
I had finished homework and went to go play some video games in my room. As I was playing, I thought I could hear something. I lowered the volume and I heard nothing. I thought that maybe I was just hearing things, so I went back to playing my game. I'd say not even 5 seconds later, I felt a hand grab my leg. I freaked out and ran to the front door, but there was some guy with a mask blocking it. Then, 3 more men came out from the back door and one out of my room. There were 5 people in total, all surrounding me. Keep in mind, I was a pretty big guy, 6'4".
That don't mean shit.
But I could not take down 5 people all at once.
Fuck no.
I said in a shaky voice,
Unless you Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee.
"What do you people want from me?"
Oh, you know what they want.
The guy who was blocking the door approached me and said, "Remember we said we would meet you at your address?"
Ooh.
At first, I didn't know what he was talking about, but then it hit me.
Yeah.
That site on the deep web. The man blocking the door said, "Get him."
What?
Then they all tackled me and tied my hands with rope and duct taped my mouth.
Damn.
They carried me outside to their van. By now, I knew what was going to happen.
What color was that van?
I was going to be put on that website for speaking out against it.
I bet it was white, wasn't it?
Then, what happened next was a gift from God.
We all know about white vans.
I heard sirens in the distance approaching my house. The men then dropped me and they all ran into the van and sped off.
Whoop, whoop.
A minute later, the police arrived and comforted me. I told them everything that had happened, and my parents arrived shortly after. It turns out my neighbor saw the white van pull up to my driveway and he got suspicious and called the police.
That's a good neighbor.
Long story short, the cops never found the guys, and that still kills me to this day. We moved out of state and I want nothing to do with the deep web. Nothing has happened since then, and I hope nothing does. Please, for the love of God, don't make the same mistake I did.
Fuck no.
And stay away from the deep web.
Bet that. Y'all curiosity gonna kill me. But that's a real neighbor. That's how neighbors should be.
I can't disclose much information, but I work for the UK government. I was assigned to track down several missing people who were spotted on what is known as the deep web. I had briefly heard of this place before, but some research was required before I went in. It is a place where criminals can be safe. Contract killers, live stream murders, child pornographers, the darkest depths of the internet. Time to get to it. I fired up my PC and downloaded the Tor browser. No problems. Installed and up running in a matter of moments. Due to my prior research, I knew the hidden wiki would lead me to find the sites I needed. The missing people had been spotted on a live stream torture site. This is where I started. So many horrific acts. I saw one where someone captured a homeless man, and the director was commenting on what they wanted done to him. He had his eyes gouged out, face cut and skinned, all alive. On with the search.
Damn.
I was looking for a white male, brown hair, blue eyes, around 6
Why do
feet
they
and
always gouge
195
the eyes out?
pounds.
Why do they always take the eyes out,
This
though?
was not going to be a pleasant experience.
You already know.
I counted 23 people, if not more, being tortured, raped, mutilated, and brutally murdered in front of the camera. Until I found one which stood out. White male, brown hair, around 6 feet, who looked about 195 pounds. I had to endure watching him being tortured and killed for 47 painful minutes.
Damn!
After the murder, something even worse happened. I saw that the murderer cut open his chest and spread his ribs and lungs out like a bird.
Oh my God.
I'd seen this before. The Blood Eagle. The Blood Eagle was once used to kill a king who killed someone's father, originated in Nordic civilizations. The details weren't important now. What was important was the fact that the Blood Eagle cult could be back. A group of contract killers who operated anywhere and everywhere, always sacrificing people to the eagle, which they called God. Someone has to put a stop to this.
I don't know if I could do
I
this.
didn't have the resources. I didn't have the training to take down a criminal organization by myself. I didn't even have any solid evidence to take my superiors. No proof of the Blood Eagles even existing. Just one sick and twisted video I found on the internet.
Don't go into details like that with
I
me,
needed
please.
a break
Please
to
don't.
return to normality. I closed down the browser after exiting the site. Something was very wrong.
You bet.
My desktop background. It wasn't the picture I cherished from me graduating from Sandhurst with my proud uniform and family. It was something which would forever change me. A picture of a corpse with his ribs spread open and his lungs on display.
Come on,
A
man.
blood eagle. I couldn't take anymore. I gasped and powered down my computer. A virus? It must be. Used to scare the sickos who watched those things. I ran out of my office, but I heard my computer whirring into life. Dashing back into the room, I stared in horror at the monitor. No blood, no gore, just some words.
Oh.
My name. Then the words, "The eye of the eagle sees all." How did they remotely turn on my computer? How do they know my name? I ran outside, grabbing my keys, wallet, phone, etc. I quickly took a breath of fresh air and walked. I just walked for a while. In the real world, it was just a computer virus, right?
Nah.
Wrong. I couldn't be out too long.
Very
My
wrong.
wife would be coming home from work. She can wait. I was scared. For once, I was truly scared. Terrified, you could say. I found myself sitting on a bench, talking to a nice old man about the weather and woodworking tips and other hobbies. I forgot about everything that had happened until I went home.
Uh-huh.
My door was unlocked, a tad open. Strange.
Oh.
Jenny, my wife, always keeps the doors locked. I opened and bellowed upstairs. "Sorry, love, I took a walk. Needed a breather." I ran upstairs to see her, not noticing the blood on the walls.
Oh my God.
I opened the bedroom door. The whole room was red, soaked with blood. What I can only hope wasn't Jenny's face was slashed up beyond all recognition, and her throat was slit multiple times. I've seen dead before, but nothing close to this. I stared in horror. The wings, her lungs spread out over her ribs.
Oh my God.
The blood eagle. What? How the hell? My flood of anger and fear, overwhelming misery, was interrupted by a voice. It said my name, although heavily distorted. It came from my computer. I saw the face of a black and white mask, yet still slightly pixelated. I screamed, "What have you done? Who are you? What the hell are you?" He replied with, "We." He said, "We are the Blood Eagle. We kill as he wishes. Do not stop us. Do not try. Do not search us, or you and your closest family will suffer. The eagle sees all and can do terrible things."
Indeed. Apparently.
I was speechless and feeling like I brought this upon her.
You did.
I wanted nothing to do with this anymore. I made a decision. I rung the police, told them what happened. They investigated, said it was a suicide. I couldn't believe it.
Nah.
Weeks passed, and I was haunted by the event. I booked a flight to Canada, and we had a nice little log cabin there. I packed almost everything I had, my trusty shotgun, clothes, all my cash in Canadian dollars. I left my life behind and quit my job. I never wanted to go back to the deep web or have anything to hear from it. I keep to myself and live a relatively simple life. Therapy helped me recover. I'm happy now. Years have passed. I feel safe. Almost. However, let this be a lesson to everyone. The eagle sees all. Want to look into them? Want to stop them?
Don't.
Fine by me. I'm not paying for your funeral or the guy resembling your mangled corpse.
Yeah, you brought that on your wife. Lucky it wasn't you. Don't torture me for 47 minutes, just kill me. Make it quick.
I had an experience on the deep web that changed my life. I was about 15 when this happened. My parents cared about me, but I didn't really care what they thought. I did a few drugs here and there and hung out with what people would call the wrong people. In other words, I was one of those kids who would get into a lot of trouble, and I was stopped by the cops multiple times.
You deserved everything you
One of
did.
my friends, we'll call him Derek. Derek was 17 and was into drugs and stuff like that. I asked him where he was getting drugs without getting caught.
He a bullshitter too.
He then went on explaining about the deep web. He said, it is a place on the internet where you are completely anonymous and unwatched.
Or so you think.
He told me if I wanted drugs, I would have to download the Tor browser so I wouldn't get caught buying drugs. So when I got home, I fired up my PC and downloaded the Tor browser Derek was talking about. Pretty soon, I was surfing the so-called deep web. There were a bunch of other illegal stuff besides drugs. I don't even want to say what they were. I ended up on a site called Silk Road.
Oh,
There are at least hundreds of drugs on this site.
that's ominous as
I
hell.
purchased some drugs via Bitcoin.
Even I've heard of that one.
Bitcoins are an anonymous currency used
Through
to buy
YouTube
things
and
off
all
the
that.
deep web, or for some other stuff. I gave the seller my address and all
Oh.
the information and stuff like that.
You deserve whatever you get.
Anyway, I got an email from the seller telling me thank you for your purchase and that the item would be shipped to you in less than a week.
I hope you get got.
Anyway, it was a weekend and I was going with my friends to go see a movie. We saw The Purge and overall it was pretty cool. The movie ended around 12.
Of course you
so
went
I
to
went
see that.
home. When I was walking home though, I could have sworn I heard something walking behind me. I looked around but there was nothing there. I'm approaching my front
That you
door,
know of.
and then from behind me, I hear the words, "Your drugs have been delivered." I turned around, and I see three men wearing masks on, looking directly at me. I told them, "What do you want?" There was no response. Then, all of a sudden, one guy pulled out a gun, shooting, and thank God the bullet missed me. I ran inside the house and locked the door. The men started cussing loudly while banging on the door. My dad then came out with his rifle and opened fire at them. They all took off, and I was shaking in a corner.
That's what I'm
My
talking about.
parents called the cops, and they all wanted answers from me.
My man.
I told them everything about the deep web. My parents were talked to, and I got in some major trouble with both my parents and the law.
Of course.
It's been 6 years since that incident. I'm now 21 and I completely changed. I quit hanging out with the wrong people, I quit doing drugs, and now I'm in college and have a girlfriend. However, I still wondered how the incident would have turned out had my parents not been home.
You would have got. You deserved anything and everything that happened to you in that story. You was bullshitting
Let
from
me
the
just
jump.
say that the deep web and the dark web are two very completely different things.
Really?
Most people think that the deep web consists of child porn, hitmen, murder, and torture, but all of that is in the dark web. The deep web has drugs, illegal documents, and stuff like that. I was stupid one time for going both on the deep web and the dark web. I wanted to go on to see what it was, and this was before I knew what was actually on there. I knew how to set up Tor and everything, so there was not a problem with that. I was then going through link after link, looking for what I could find. I found sites that sold firearms, drugs, and actual human body parts. I never knew you could buy human on the deep web, but apparently you can.
Why would you want to?
Eventually, I found a site called Camelot. The site allowed you to access people's webcams without them knowing. I just saw people on their computers watching videos or something. No cam girls or anything. I kept searching and I ended up on a site called Your Photos. I was extremely curious of the site. It was basically pictures of people in public. There were adults, teens, children, and elderly people too. Some photos were of people in their rooms naked, but it didn't seem like they noticed that they were being filmed. I then scrolled down and saw a picture of someone that looked familiar. The person in the photo was me. I mumbled the words, what the? The photo was of me on the beach, taken with some friends. I clicked on the information of the photo. It had all my personal information, my address, my phone number, and my social security number.
Damn!
I had enough. How in the world did they get my personal information? Then, I got a text on my phone that read, "Hey Mark, did you like what you just saw?"
No.
I typed back, "Who is this?
Don't
and
mention
how do
the
you know
police.
about this?" He replied saying, "I know everything about you, Mark."
Don't mention the
I
police.
typed that I'm calling the cops and he better take down the post.
Oh my god.
He then said, "Make me." I yelled for my parents and they called the cops. When they arrived, I showed them the messages and reported the site. A few days later, we got a response from the police. They said that they could not track down the number for some reason. And because of that, I will never, ever go back on the deep web again.
I don't get it. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's the dark web, the deep web, the shadow web, nothing. I'm never going on none of that. If you mention any of that to me, or try to give me links, or say, hey, check this out, I'm blocking you. I'm cutting you off. We're done. No, there is no reason for me to look into that. For real? What is it in for? What's in it for me? Besides possibly getting my shit fucked up. Possibly me getting got. My whole thing about this is that, you know. First of all, y'all curiosity, that gotta stop. That's why a majority of y'all in these stories was in a predicament y'all was in, because y'all was curious. Curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity will get you fucked up. Curiosity will get you got. I don't get it. It's like all these stories, though a lot of them have the similarities, they usually always end the same. You see what you saw. You call it bullshit. You threaten to call the police. They display your first name, last name, and or other personal information. The next thing you know, someone's coming to your house or trying to get into your house, or one of your loved ones gets attacked, killed, or someone around you gets got because you was bullshit. Why? Like, what's with this curiosity with shit like this? It is nothing to be played with. At first, when I first started hearing about the dark/deep web, I thought it was bullshit. But These stories say they are true, and there's way too many videos on YouTube for this shit not to be real at this point. If it was a video here and there, maybe. But there's way too many videos at this point of stuff like this for it to be fake any longer. What makes y'all do this? I hate to say it, but if you or your friends, your loved ones, whoever decides that they want to check out the deep web, they deserve everything they get. Especially that dude in the fifth story who said him and his friends were in the drugs at such a young age and like bullshit and stuff like that. They deserved everything they got. Everything. My whole thing about it is, if you really want to go and look at the deep web, you run a very high risk of having an early death. Because apparently, when you get onto the deep web and the moment that you download Tor, however it's spelled, once you download that program or click on certain links, it's like you're signing in once you download it, download the content or go to whatever website or whatever, click whatever links, it's like you're downloading and you're signing an electronic signature. Like, okay, now that I've downloaded this content or went to these links or this website or whatever the case is, now you, as the admins of these dark web, deep web, shadow web websites and programs, now you have leeway and access to all of my personal information. I want to see people get hurt, killed, raped, all tortured, fucking cut up, whatever I want to see. It don't even have to be that. I want to see some weird and crazy shit. So in return for that, in exchange for that, you have the rights to all of my personal information because I want to bullshit. That's basically how it is. As soon as you download Tor or any of that deep dark web content, you have now signed your life away, damn near. Because, okay, I knew they knew your first and last name and your address. That's bad enough. Not only that, they also know your social security number? Oh, bruh. Hell no. So the question is, at the end of the day, is it really worth it? Is it really worth, you possibly losing your life along with anyone else or someone else losing their life that's close to you because you want to bullshit? Like I said, if someone ever came to me with that, I cut you off, I'll block you, I'll never speak to you again, because ain't no, and I don't give a fuck who you are, I ain't with that. I like the life I have. I mean, I don't love it, but it's okay. It's better than the fuck what they're going through. But two more things before I end this video. First of all, that first or the second story, no. Pit bull? Nah, hell no. A pit bull, a Rottweiler, a Doberman, and a Great Dane are 4 big dogs you do not want problems with. You do not want one of them chasing after you. You do not. Or a German Shepherd, 5 big dogs. A Pit Bull, a Rottweiler, a Doberman, a Great Dane, and a German Shepherd. You don't want any of them chasing after you. Those are 5 of the most aggressive dogs known to man, unless there's more out there that I just don't know of. I've never been a dog person. I've always been a cat person. Cats eat, sleep, and lay around. We can get along so good on my off days. For real. And my last thing is, I believe it was the 4th story. What? You're gonna torture me for 47 minutes? For damn near an hour? Nah. Well, see, that's what you're not gonna do. If you, God forbid, this ever happens. If you kidnap me, trap me, or whatever, even though I'm never gonna go to the deep web, dark web, shadow web, none of that. I will never access any of those programs. But if I ever got kidnapped, what you not gonna do is torture me, you're not gonna do that. Just kill me right off. just, just, just cut it off. Cut it off. No. No. You're not, what? For a whole hour, you punching me, stabbing me, kicking me, fucking possibly burning me with hot water and acid and fucking, I don't know, hitting me with like baseball bats and metal poles and shit like that. No. You're not gonna do that for a whole 47 minutes. No. Just kill me right there. Just make it quick. Don't torture me. That's gonna piss me off. Even though I really can't do shit if I'm tied up and shackled and shit. But hey, y'all, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, shout out to 850 Big Boy for recommending Mr. Haunted. I definitely had to react to some more of this because this is good ass content. This was creepy as hell. I'm surprised I didn't pause it. I really wanted to so I could collect myself, but I had to man up. But yo, I hope y'all liked this video. And I hope y'all liked my reaction. If you did, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. And if you really liked it, subscribe to my channel. Tap the bell icon so you will be notified every time your boy Steph drop new content, which I do on a weekly basis. I will leave a link in the description to Mr. Haunted's channel, along with the link to this original video so y'all can view it for yourselves. That is all I got for y'all this time around. Your boy Steph is out.